Hey guys, so I'm gonna run through these notes on how we calculate standard deviation. So at this point, you should have watched the YouTube video that kind of explains what standard deviation is. And right now, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and kind of go through this outline with you to show you how we do it. So first thing we want to look at is our data. So it's giving us test scores right over here. And the first thing it's asking us to figure out is our n value. So the n value is just saying how many data points do you have. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So n is going to be 10. Asking for our median. So we got to list our orders from least to greatest. Let's see. I got 22, 29, 33, 57, 62, 75, 81, 99, 100, and 102. We just got to pick out the middle number. Now, since I have 10 total data points, that means I'm going to have two middle numbers because 10 is an even number. So it looks like my two middle numbers are 62 and 75. I can double check that by checking how many numbers I have to the left and to the right. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers to the right. So I got to average those two middle numbers. So I'm going to do 62 plus 75, which is 137, divided by 2. And that means my median is 68.5. So median, quick review of finding the median. We actually don't need the median when calculating standard deviation, but it's a good review of how to do it anyway. Okay, now my mean, we know that's just adding up all of our numbers and dividing by the total amount of data points. So when I add up 22 plus 99 plus 102 plus 33 plus 57 plus 75 plus 100 plus 81 plus 62 plus 29, I get 660, and we'll divide it by 10, and that gives me 66. So my mean is going to be 66. Okay, mode, we know that's just our most repeated number. I do not think we have repeated numbers, so we don't have a mode. I'm just going to put a little slash. And our range is just the difference between our highest and lowest values. So our highest is 102, our lowest is 22. 102 minus 22 is going to give me 80 for our range. Okay, so now how we actually go about doing the standard deviation, we're just going to kind of fill in this chart here, and it's going to lead us step by step for what we do. So first thing you want to do is just list out your data points where it says test scores. I'm going to write them in increasing order just to kind of make it a little more neat. So 22, 29, 33, 57, 62, 75, 81, 99, 100, and 102. Now the next column is saying the difference from the mean. So we're trying to figure out how far away are these numbers from our mean of 66. So all we're going to do is we're going to do the mean minus each data point. So for my first one, I'm simply just going to do 66 minus 22. That's 44. Then I'm going to do 66 minus 29. Oops, minus 29, that's 37. 66 minus 33, which is 33. 66 minus 57 gives me 9. 66 minus 62 gives me 4. Now I'm going to start getting some negative numbers. 66 minus 75 is negative 9. 66 minus 81, negative 15. 66 minus 99. So I'm going through these kind of fast, guys, so if you need to pause and do them, you can. 66 minus 100, negative 34, and then 66 minus 102, which is negative 36. So that's the difference from our mean. Next column, or last column we have there, is just taking these numbers that we just filled in and squaring them, so multiplying them times themselves, okay? And the reason why we're doing that is since we're finding how far off these numbers are from the mean, when we square them, that's going to take away the direction of whether or not they were negative or positive, okay? We're going to end up having all positive numbers right now. So let's see, 44 times 44 gives me 1936. 37 times 37 gives me 1369. 33 times 33 gives me 1089. 9 times now we can do in our head, that's 81. 4 times 4 is 16. Negative 9 times negative 9 is a positive 81. Negative 15 times a negative 15, oops, is a positive 225. Negative 33 times negative 33 should be the same thing as positive 33 times positive 33. That's 1089. Negative 34 times negative 34 is a positive 1156. And then negative 36 times negative 36 is 1296. So now we're going to take all these numbers that we just found when we squared the difference, and we're going to add them all up. Okay, so a lot of this is just calculator work, guys, just following the steps correctly. So 1936 plus 1369 plus 1089 plus 81 plus 16 plus 81 plus 225 plus 1089 plus 1156 plus 1296, and that sum gives us 8,338. Okay, now we're going to take that number 8,338, and it says we're going to take the sum of the differences from the mean squared, and we're going to divide it by n minus 1. So our n value was 10, so that means 10 minus 1 is 9. So I'm going to take that number and divide it by 9. So 8,338 divided by 9. And that gives us 926. We'll round to the nearest whole number. Okay, and that's called our variance. Okay, now the last step is actually on the last page, or the back of your page, the new page of the document. But all that is, guys, is just taking the square root of that number. So you can actually do that with your cell phone. If you make sure that it'll lock on your phone, that's undone. So then you can turn your phone sideways. Here we go. And the little square root button is, where is it? Where there's a little 2 on the outside. So I'm going to click that button, square root. Actually, I think I need to type in the number. So let's go ahead and type in 926 first, and then click the square root. So there's a little 2 on the outside, and then the x under the radical. Click that, and that gives you about 30.4. We'll round to the first decimal. So 30.4, and that would be our standard deviation.